So today is a good day and also a little bit of a sad day. For the last couple years, I've been shooting, doing my bird photography and any wildlife really with my Sigma 150-600C Canon EF fit on I think 3 different bodies: my 80D, my R, and my R5. Now, I'm extending this out so you can get a feel for how big this guy actually is. It's very heavy, very dense, very affordable when it comes to the relative nature of the hobby. Under $1,000 for something like this is pretty good, and it is a bit of a tank. It's not weather sealed or anything like that, but I didn't have the justification or really the money to get anything of a higher quality at the time, so I went with this, and I couldn't really be much more happy with it. It has its shortcomings, but it has served me so well. I have taken thousands, if not tens of thousands of photos with this lens, and it has really never failed me. I've learned its quirks, and I've learned its strengths, and I've managed to figure out when I can get a shot and when I might just be toast and I can't get away with anything. Between setting up one of the custom modes to help deal with some of the focus pulsing and stuff like that, I've been able to manage to figure out how to use this guy to get the best, absolute best out of it, and I have finally reached the point where I kind of at the end of the limit and wanting something more. Now this goes to, as I said before, 600 millimeters on my full frame camera, and we have a newcomer to the pile of lenses that I have acquired, and this is the RF 100-500L lens. Now, this thing weighs about a pound less. It is a beautiful lens. My only second L lens, my other one's a portrait lens, so I typically buy things that work specifically for the kind of photography that I sell, where my wildlife is a little bit more, I mean, some people have come to find me and come across me through my wildlife, and that has turned into jobs and money and gigs, but it isn't necessarily directly a source of income, so it was hard to justify this. But on Black Friday, Canon got me, and they had the refurbished one of these for under $1,000, under $2,000. So I am going to lose 100 millimeters on this end because it only goes to 5. I am going to lose a third of a stop of light because it's maximum at 7.1 instead of 6.3 on the long end. The good thing is that I've already taken some photos with this. I was out in the field with it yesterday morning on a real estate gig with like 1,200 acres, and I was trying to catch some wildlife, preferably like game-related wildlife. I wasn't able to get any, but I did find some birds and stuff along the way. The eye focus on like birds is just absolutely blisteringly fast. Oh my gosh, sorry about that. I use voice recognition on my computer, and I turned it on, and it started playing my Blink-182. Anyway, so this guy right here is absolutely phenomenal. Already I've been able to get some really nice crispy images out of it. The image quality is higher. Again, I lose some things, but I gain some other things. I gain weather resistance, which is a great thing. I want to shoot more in like drizzly rain conditions and not have that completely stop me. I have a lens coat as well that I can put on just for extra protection, but it's always nice to know that I'm protected against dust and water to some degree, because my camera bodies are also protected. The image stabilization is incredibly good. It's better than it is on my other one, even though there's in-body stabilization on the R5 that I use. I was still obviously relying on the Sigma image stabilization inside the Contemporary over here, but it's so much smoother. I can handhold and even shoot video and stabilize in post in DaVinci Resolve with pretty much no issue. Very happy with that. I have some musculoskeletal disorder issues, and it's really hard for me to shoot handheld with the 150-600C. It is a tank. There are obviously much more heavy lenses out there, but I have a limit, and I've been able to add to that limit and increase and to be able to shoot more handheld, but I shoot off a tripod a lot. But I was able to shoot this handheld yesterday off and on for several hours, and I barely really noticed it. It was also nice to get rid of the EF to RF adapter that I have to use because this Sigma lens is an EF. So going full native on the RF mount, took off some weight on this end, and then again basically a full pound sheds off the actual lens itself. I can't be much more happy about that, because if you are out there taking photos, the best way to get photos that you didn't think you could ever get is to be out there taking photos. And the longer you can shoot, the more you can shoot, the more comfortable you are while you're shooting, the better chance you have of getting the shots that you want. So that is really important to me. So that is another reason why I decided to pull the trigger on this and go ahead and get it. But yeah, this is a great lens, and so is this. And I am trading it to help offset the cost. I am trading this guy in with my 80D and a few other lenses that I don't use too much, to be able to offset the cost of this RF 100-500. And but yeah, I couldn't be happier with it. I'm so glad that I bought this. It did the thing that I always wanted, which was to reach closer to tiny little birds. I remember when I first got a crop censored M6, Canon EFM M6, and I was seeing like wrens. I didn't even know what they were at the time, and I was like, man, you're just so far away. And then I used the kit lens and the crop factor to get a little bit closer, and then a 1/2400 Sigma, which is a little mushy, but it was what I could afford at the time, to get a little bit closer. And then finally, this was the one that was a nice sweet spot for the cost and also the quality of it. If this is what you can afford, then buy it, because it is a great lens. I am so happy that I have been able to use this and I have access to equipment like this. But it is time to move on. It's been 2 years. I didn't realize that when I went to my trip to the coast and to see friends in Huntsville and Houston this past week during Thanksgiving, that it was going to be the last trip I had with it, and I really sent it off in a great way, because I got some great photos that I'm incredibly happy with. But yeah, this guy allowed me to do just about everything that you've seen me do on my page up until now, and we're now switching over to the other lens. And this will go on to somebody at an even more affordable price, maybe even with a crop body, and go even closer to tiny little birds or other animals that they couldn't reach or see before too well, and they're going to get great images out of it. I'm saying bye to it today. I'm going to clean it up a little bit more, even though, as you can see, I've taken pretty good care of it. In fact, I've taken great care of it, especially that it's been in the field with me for hours and hours and hours. The glass is good, the body is good, and but yeah, look forward to any photos that anybody can produce with something like this, because they're going to be good, they're going to be sharp. You just have to know how to use it, and yeah, onward and upward.